Hey everybody, welcome back and thanks for joining us. I'm Daggett Starnes, and today we are going to be putting the magnatrac rs1000 to the test. If you saw our other video, weather was terrible, we couldn't dig, we couldn't really do anything. It was just kind of thrown together to show you guys basic machine function. But today we are going to do some digging with this thing. We're going to try out the front bucket, we're going to see what the backhoe can do. We're also going to see how much weight it can pull. They advertise that this little guy right here can tow up to 13,000 pounds on flat ground. So we're going to hook some stuff up to it. We're going to see the box blade attachment, how it grades stuff. We're going to see how the scoop attachment works and just dig into the thing and see what all it can do. So without further ado, we're going to do our first test here, and that is going to be the dig test. So they say that you can dig a small pond with this. So in their video advertisement from 10 years ago, they dug a 30-foot diameter pond in hard Wisconsin clay in, I guess, a day's time. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna time lapse this. I'm gonna see how far I can get digging with this thing using only the front scoop here. See how big of a hole I can get going in 30 minutes. We have ideal conditions for it. The ground's thawed out, it's beautiful. There's a little bit of moisture, so it's not rock hard. And these tracks should give us plenty of grip in the muddy conditions. So let's go. So we had to pause the timer. Two things really quick. One, all the muddy stuff on top clogged up the bucket, so we're gonna dig that out. And now that we're down to dry soil, we're gonna give this thing a fighting chance. And then two, there's these adjustments right here, and what they do is they adjust the angle of attack. So now when I go down into a pile, it's really digging hard to where I can't get a clean scoop. So I'm gonna adjust this back. It was probably loose, so I'm going to adjust it back, tighten it down, and then we're gonna continue. But I mean, so far, I mean, this is really hard ground. It's actually doing it. So we're gonna make those adjustments. So that was 30 minutes with the magnatrac. It started out real slick on top. That was slow going, actually getting down to the firm soil. We had to adjust the blade. That wasn't a big deal. Of course, the bucket's getting clogged with material. I mean, you're cleaning it out every 15 scoops maybe. It takes 10-15 seconds to clean out the bucket. But really, any mini excavator that I've ever had here, any skid steer I've ever had here that digs, I mean, this is really, really dense clay. So it was kind of impressive how it's cutting through the clay, and once you get a feel for the front blade and how much it can handle and how much it can lift, I think it's good. I don't think the backhoe was dragging me down at all. I think the extra counterweight and weight in general helped, because a full bucket of this stuff, it's a couple 100 pounds. So all in all, I'd say it passed the test. I think that, you know, they advertise a 3-foot deep pond, 30 feet in diameter. Okay, I got this one. If you count the berm, you know, this is 2 feet deep. Of course, it would need some finishing up. But I bet if you gave me 8 hours time on this thing, I seriously, no joke, think that I could probably do a 40-45 foot diameter pond with a 4 or 5 foot depth in 8 hours. So if somebody was looking to not spend a whole lot of money, but they wanted to dig their own pond, could you? Sure. I think the unexperienced person, a few weekends, if all you wanted was something that was, you know, 4 or 5 feet deep, real small for whatever reason, it's doable. If you don't want to spend 80 grand on a skid steer, yeah, can you? Yes. So I'm going to say it passed the test here. I might even continue to dig on this and see where 8 hours can actually get me, because the tracks really start to shine in this area. I don't think like a little 4x4 diesel long tractor, I do not think that it would perform nearly as well, because traction is going to be an issue. It's going to be spinning the tires a lot. Yeah, I'd say let's move on to the next test. All right, so now we're going to test out the backhoe. The other day we couldn't dig. It felt powerful. So to get into backhoe mode, here's what we do here. There's a pin under the seat. Go ahead, you raise this seat up, you pull this pin, you put it in down here, you swivel the seat around, and you are now in backhoe mode. It has these stabilizers. They are manual crank. We've got them hovering about 2 inches off the ground. Look at these controls though, because first of all, there's no safety on them. That's why you want to engage the transport safety mechanism, which basically it's a steel bar with a pin. But these are like the piano key styles, so I'm still trying to learn these and I'm not great on them, so it's not going to be like the Chinese mini excavator where you're working the joysticks. This does not come natural to me because no excavator has these types of controls anymore. It's pretty archaic. But to dig a trench, we're going to dig a 2-foot trench and do it like 6 foot long and see how long that takes us, just to simulate, you know, a homeowner putting in a gutter downspout or a French drain. It's probably going to be the most likely application. So we're going to do a time lapse on that and see how far we get. So, these backhoe controls, I hate them with a passion. It's against everything I've ever known. Like if it was backhoe pattern with 2 joysticks, okay. If it was ISO pattern, no problem, I got it. I feel as though it has plenty of power for its size. I do not think power's the issue. I think the curl cylinder's a little slow on it. If I had some time to actually get used to this, I think it would be much, much faster. The power is not the problem here. It's figuring out the damn controls, and it's maddening. And then you get frustrated, and the more frustrated you get, it gets worse. And then I felt like I had it for a second, and then once I started just going with the motions like I would on a track hoe, I forgot everything and I was back to square one again. It completely messes with you in every way. In theory, you could put backhoe sticks on here and plumb this in. Now you're probably talking, by the time you got the controls on it and everything, basically I think I could take like the hydraulic block off of a cheap mini excavator and put it on here and have 2-stick control. I'm not sure if they offer 2-stick control currently, but if they don't, they need to rethink their business plan, because I would, if they don't have twin stick control on their 2 larger sizes, I'm gonna have to call them and have words with them, because God, you really need 2-stick. If I had 2-stick controls, I've been blazing through this. Overall, the backhoe itself and the design of the backhoe, I think for a machine this size, I really think that it's a good design. And guys, I'm not basing this off like a Chinese mini excavator or anything else. Like, I have a heavy equipment business. I run heavy machinery for a living, you know, like 350 excavators, haul trucks, dozers. So obviously this isn't nearly in the same category, but I'm looking at it from like is it well built for the task? Is the power to weight good? I'm looking at it from that aspect. The power to weight on the backhoe, I'd say, is good. So we'll move on to the next test, and then drop a comment. Let me know if you'd be interested in me digging and being like, how far can you get in 4 hours digging on this thing with a little pond? Let me know. So now we got 2 more tests. One's going to be backfill. I'm sure it has a lot of pushing power. I'm sure it'll backfill this no problem. So I'm going to backfill this real quick, and then we're going to switch. We're going to see how big of a trailer you can actually pull around. So I'm going to backfill this real quick, and then we'll go do that. Here we have a 14K equipment trailer. It's 20 feet. So this would probably be about the biggest, heaviest thing you'd even want to try moving around with this. So if it'll do this, it'll do your 16 or 20 foot, 7,500 pound rated trailer absolutely no problem. So the limiting factor is going to be, will this hydraulic pick up all the tongue weight of this trailer? Because I think empty, there's probably close to 750 pounds, probably 650 to 750 pounds of tongue weight. So have the advantage of counterweight, so let's see if it'll scoot this thing around. I'm surprised. I mean, that's not a light trailer. As you can see, it scoots it around. It was kind of flexing. You could see that the front of stuff, it was flexing pretty good. So would I do that with absolutely anything on the trailer? Not a chance. But I mean, this trailer weighs like 4,200 pounds empty. So if you got something to move around, it's like a 16-foot trailer, even a 20-foot trailer that's just a light trailer, or like a 6,000 pound rated enclosed trailer, yeah, it'll freaking do it. That's cool. I'm happy that that worked. So all right, next one, we're gonna see how much this bad bitch can pull. So we're gonna hook it up to some heavy stuff. In Magnatrac's promotional video, they show that this thing can tow over 13,000 pounds. So in this demonstration, we have a 7,500 pound truck with a 4,000 pound trailer. So that puts us, we're probably at 12,000 pounds combined here, I'd say, because I got that skid steer bucket on there too. So we're gonna see if it'll do 12,000 pounds combined. too easy. That's too easy. We need more weight. We need more weight. We need more weight. Hold on. Well, as you can see, it did it from here all the way down to the driveway. That's uphill the entire way. And it did it. It did it. The truck was in neutral. Heck yeah, man. I'd say that's a pass. All right, we've gotten to the lifting test. So this box blade is 530 pounds. And they say that this has, you know, 1,500 pounds of breakout force or whatever. We'll see about that, but they say that you shouldn't exceed 250 pounds. So we're gonna see if it can lift this, and if it can, at what point does the machine start to tip? Say for that being over 500 pounds, it handles it very well. The main cylinder back here, it kind of runs out of oomph, which they probably designed it like that on purpose so that you couldn't be ripping the whole machine up off the ground. But this dipper right here has a ton of power, so I have no doubt it'd do a couple 100 pounds more, but 500 pounds, this whole machine weighs like 1,500, so you don't need to be lifting more than 500 pounds. So I'd say it's plenty capable as far as power goes. Now, I'm looking into, instead of having this one big piano key control block, They have ones where it's 2 separate control blocks and then just 2 joysticks, and then you would work it like backhoe or excavator controls. The only issue with that is I would have to splice the 2 inlets, I guess. Because one of these is the main power. This one's the return line. That one's easy to splice because it's not real pressurized coming back out of it. So as you can see, they spliced it right here. So I would just splice it again to have 2 returns. The issue is, how would I do the hoses for this? I guess I would have to have these hooked to a plate that splits off, or hooked to a line that splits off in 2 directions. So I'd have to put a Y on it right here. I don't know. I'm going to figure that out, but might be a good option. So, hope you enjoyed that. Drop a comment. Let us know what else you'd like to see this thing try to do. And then also, don't forget to visit digitsupplyco.com. The link is down in the bio. We are giving away a John Deere 450H bulldozer. So, check out the website, grab some gear, and get entered to win. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.